Hello, it's Ingrid here, and this is your second video in the series of Business Transformation 3 free training videos. And this one is about to-do lists. I have seen to-do lists transform people's lives and transform their businesses. So whether they're in business for themselves or whether they're in business with somebody else. And how it works is that you write things down on the to-do list, and when you've done them, you cross them off. Now, one of the things that happens when we cross things off the to-do list is we get a sense of achievement and we get that lovely dopamine rush that makes us feel good. So what I've seen some people do is write down things they've already done and then cross them off. That's not what I'm talking about today. I'm talking about a proper to-do list. So how do you create a to-do list? First thing is, when do you create the to-do list? So a successful to-do list is created at the end of the day in preparation for the next day. So if you're working in an office, you would, the last 5 or 6 minutes before you leave, you would start to prepare what you need to do the next day. If you're working in your home office or if you're working in your own business, when you reach the end of what you consider to be your working day, then what you would do is that you would assess what you've done. I'll talk about that in a little moment, a get done list, and you would then assess what you need to do tomorrow. So you would prepare that on a list. Now, one of the things that you can do if you're starting from scratch is that you can take a blank piece of paper, you can write down all the things that you need to do. Put the timer on for 1 minute or 2 minutes so that you don't get too carried away, and then you write down all the things that you have to do. What can be very useful is to take a coloured marker, so you might have a yellow highlighter, a green highlighter, an orange one, the different colours that there are, and mark your A priorities with the chosen colour that goes with an A priority. And you might have A, B, C or A, B, C, D, ranging from very important down to not important at all. So you have your to-do, you rank them in order of importance, and that's how you attack them or how you work on them the next day. And you might want to get rid of a couple of the smaller ones. You might be able to say, well, that's going to take me 10 minutes and that's going to take me 5 minutes, and you might set aside some of those and work on them so that you can get them done. One of the things that we'll talk about in more detail in the 8-week business transformation program is how to break down the items on a to-do list that become more tasky. So you might have, say for example, you are preparing an event and you write on the to-do list, prepare event for workshop next Thursday. Well, there would be so many tasks involved in that to-do item that you would need to break that down. And that's more like project planning, that's more like task listing and prioritising. So that's a completely different thing, and we'll talk about that more in our 8-week business transformation. But for now, a really good discipline to get into is the night before, create your to-do list for the next day so that when you come in the next morning, you're ready to get started. Now, we talked yesterday about your timing and how to use your time. This to-do list from the night before really helps you be productive the next day. So we now have 2 tips. Stand by for tomorrow, completely unrelated to either of these 2, but just to give you a taste of what's in the 8-week business transformation. Now, the other thing, I just want to give you an extra little bonus today. The other thing that I love to do is a got done list. Now, this is fantastic for performance reviews. It's fantastic for keeping track of what you're doing, but it's about what have you actually achieved. So working towards your goals, what are the things that you're actually achieving? And I call that your get done list. More about that when you meet you on the other side and you are in our 8-week business transformation program. Really looking forward to seeing you there, but for now, get to that to-do list.